My parents let me stop breathing for 4 minutes because my twins said I was faking. Now CPS doctors are exposing their years of neglect. I was 14 when my asthma attack almost killed me, but the worst part wasn't the attack itself. It was my twin sister Brooke telling our parents I was just being dramatic and them actually believing her. Brooke and I are identical twins, but we've never been treated the same. She was born first by 2 minutes, came out healthy and screaming. I came out second with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck and spent 3 weeks in the NICU. My parents always said Brooke was the strong one and I was the fragile one. Except they didn't say it like they were worried about me. They said it like I was annoying for having health problems. By middle school, Brooke was the star volleyball player and honor roll student. I had asthma, bad allergies, and missed a lot of school because of it. Every time I got sick, my mom would sigh like I'd ruined her day. That Tuesday in March started normal enough. I woke up feeling tight in my chest, that familiar wheeze starting in my lungs. I went to grab my inhaler from my backpack and it was empty. I told my mom at breakfast that I needed a refill. She was making Brooke's lunch for her volleyball tournament that weekend and barely looked up. She said we'd get it later, that I'd be fine for one day. But I wasn't fine. By third period, I was struggling to breathe. The school nurse called my parents and said I needed my inhaler or to go home. My dad showed up annoyed, saying I was pulling this stunt to get out of my math test. Brooke had texted him during his drive over saying I always faked sick on test days. That wasn't even true. I had a C in math and actually studied for this test. But Brooke's word was gold in our house. Dad took me home and told me to lie down and stop being dramatic. I tried to tell him this was different, that I really couldn't breathe right. He said if I was talking, I was breathing fine, and went to his home office for a work call. An hour later, I was gasping for air on my bedroom floor. I couldn't yell for help because I had no air to yell with. I crawled to the stairs and tried to get down them. That's when Brooke came home from school early because her last period was study hall. She found me collapsed on the stairs, lips turning blue, making these horrible wheezing sounds. And you know what she did? She rolled her eyes and stepped over me, told me I was being so extra and that she wasn't falling for it this time. Then she went to her room and closed the door. I don't remember much after that. The next thing I knew, I was waking up in a hospital bed with an oxygen mask on my face and doctors standing around looking serious. Apparently, our neighbor heard me fall down the stairs and came to check. She found me unconscious and not breathing. Called 911 immediately. The paramedics said I'd stopped breathing for over 4 minutes by the time they got there. 4 minutes without oxygen. They had to resuscitate me in the ambulance. The doctor told my parents that 4 minutes without oxygen can cause permanent brain damage, that I was lucky to be alive. My mom started crying and hugging me, saying she had no idea it was that serious. But here's what she didn't know. The hospital was required to report what happened to CPS because a child almost died from an untreated medical emergency while parents were home. A social worker came to my room the next day, started asking me questions about how my parents handled my asthma. When was the last time they refilled my prescriptions? Did they take me to my doctor appointments? Did they believe me when I said I felt sick? I answered honestly. My prescriptions were always running out because nobody remembered to refill them. I'd missed my last 3 asthma checkups because my parents said it wasn't urgent. And no, they usually didn't believe me when I said I felt sick. The social worker wrote everything down with this look on her face like she'd heard enough. She pulled my medical records from my pediatrician. Turns out I'd been to the ER 4 times in the past 2 years for asthma attacks. Each time, the doctors had noted concerns about medication compliance and follow-up care. My doctor had apparently tried calling my parents multiple times about missed appointments. They never called back. CPS started a full investigation. They interviewed my teachers, who said I'd come to school multiple times looking sick, but said my parents told me I was fine. They talked to the school nurse, who had a whole file of times she'd called my parents about my breathing and got blown off. They even talked to Brooke, who admitted she told our parents I was faking most of the time because I got too much attention. My parents are now in court-ordered parenting classes, and I have to do monthly checkups with CPS. My asthma is finally under control because a caseworker makes sure my prescriptions are filled and my appointments are kept. Brooke doesn't talk to me much anymore. I think she knows she almost watched me die and did nothing. The scariest part is that if our neighbor hadn't heard me fall, I'd be dead. And my parents would have probably just said I should have told them it was serious.